Hi everyone, my name is Sam. If you are a regular visitor of this video blog, I'm so glad that you have joined me as we head into the new year. If you're new to the video blog, welcome. My hope is that you're going to find some great encouragement, some great and probably some much needed perspective, as well as compassion for what you're having to navigate through. As I was doing some reading during the holidays, I read this quote. It says, "I don't believe one grows older. I think that what happens early on in life is that at a certain age, one stands still and starts to stagnate." That's by T.S. Eliot. And I think as we head on into this new year, my hope, my real desire is that none of us, including yours truly, stagnates as we go into this new year. Today I'm going to give you a perspective, a tool, but I have to give you a caveat. This is not for you that are maybe super early on in recovery. This is elite type repair work. This is an elite, big leagues type recovery approach. And if you've been in recovery for quite some time, I'm pretty sure this will resonate for where you're at right now, as well as probably wish that you may have used this early on in recovery. I know for me, I wish I had heard this. Maybe I was just too stupid and I heard it and didn't utilize it. But when I read this the other day, it shook me, but it also shook me free because it explained to me the heart that we have to bring to recovery work. Now, today, I'm going to give it to you, but I will warn you, if you are in a situation where there's not a lot of safety, if your unfaithful party is unsafe, lashing out, lots of rage, lots of anger, explosive anger, I don't know that you're going to be able to use this. However, it might be good. In fact, it would be good for them to watch this and just ponder it. Now, if you are a betrayed, there will be ample opportunity for you to maybe take this and be a little bit like, hold on, Sam, what are you saying? Please understand, I warned you, number one. Number two, this is for long term. As you head out into the galaxy of recovery, when there's safety on both sides, this approach will absolutely change your life, change your recovery, and you'll be so glad that you utilized it. But alternatively, if you're in a situation where there's not a lot of safety on both sides, it might be difficult to implement, but it will be worth it should you choose to courageously try and use this tool. The tool is, I can tell you, what is far more helpful in conversations, in recovery work, in repair work, in therapy, in one-on-one conversations, in group work, is a heart of vulnerability, not victimhood. It is the heart that we bring to our spouse, to our partner, to our situation, to our therapy appointment, to our small group, to our entire recovery work that makes all the difference in the world. And so many times we bring hearts full of a few things that are incredibly problematic: self-righteousness, entitlement, anger, rage, bitterness, this sense that you owe me, this sense of, well, I want you to know I've come today with a mission to pound you into the ground. We bring hearts of shame. We bring hearts of get over it. And we bring a heart, oftentimes, of victimhood. When in reality, what our partner is looking for, unfaithful and betrayed, is vulnerability, not victimhood. Now, it's very hard for both parties. The unfaithful, it's hard for them to bring a heart of vulnerability because they are full of shame, full of self-hatred, self-anger, self-shaming. Maybe the betrayed has been shaming them. Maybe the betrayed has been incredibly angry at them. Maybe they've lost everything. So bringing a heart of vulnerability for them scares the hell out of them, or they just don't know how to do it. Maybe it's childhood trauma, developmental trauma. Maybe it's growing up in a scenario that just did not allow for vulnerability. So it's hard for them to know what to do. If you're betrayed, it's incredibly hard. Why would you want to be vulnerable with the person that has ripped your heart out? Why would you want to be vulnerable with someone that you cannot trust yet? Why would you want to be vulnerable with someone when you're terrified that they're just going to relapse or do it all over again? And that's why I warned you on the front end. This is for those that are wanting to go all in. Because if you are early on in recovery, I'm not saying betrayed that you should trust them again. But if they're safe, maybe it's time for you to start to be vulnerable about what you're feeling, what you're experiencing, what you're wanting, what you're needing, in order for them to meet you where you are at. If you're an unfaithful, maybe it's time to lose the verbiage of, here we go again, you're never happy, all you want to do is live in the past, you won't stop talking about it, all I get is displeasure, all I get is anger, here we go again. All of that is victimhood, and it will not work. As long as you stay in a victimhood approach, unfaithful, I'm sorry to tell you, nobody's feeling sorry for you. Nobody's coming to save your life for you. Nobody's coming to repair your life for you. No one is coming to do your work. You have got to let go of the victimhood and start to get vulnerable. Maybe with your pastor, maybe with your rabbi, maybe with your support group, maybe with the therapist that's been trying to work with you. Maybe it's just time for therapy, and maybe the heart that you keep bringing to the situation is not working. So I gave you some examples of victimhood. Here's a few examples of vulnerability that you may try. It's saying words, especially for the unfaithful, like, honey, I don't have the answers and I feel completely inept, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to find those answers. It could look like, if I'm being honest, I hate myself. And so when you keep talking about it, I get into shame. So I'm trying to not get into shame, and maybe you can help me. That doesn't mean I don't want you to talk about it. It just means I don't know, I don't have the tools. So maybe you can help me find the tools to stop hating myself and stop making it about me. Vulnerability looks like, I really want to be vulnerable with you, but I don't know if I can trust you. And I want to share my heart, but I'm worried that you're just going to slam it and defend yourself against it and get defensive and get angry and just throw it in a wood chipper and spit it back at me. Vulnerability looks like not getting defensive and making it about you, but making it about them. Unfaithful or betrayed and saying, I would feel that way too. And I am trying to find words, but I don't always have the words, but I'm here and I don't want to lose you. And I'm sorry that I have brought this devastation and I don't know how to fix it. I'd like to think that I do, but I don't. So let's go find somebody that can help us. And I want to do it. Vulnerability is a heart that says, I'm in this, I'm willing to try, and I'm willing to put effort in and not make it all about me and my victimization and making it all about it's cost me and this and this. And that's not a slam on the betrayed, that's for the unfaithful. There is a point in time, I warned you, I threw out the caveat, indulge me. There is a time when you as a betrayed move away from victimhood and move into vulnerability with things like, hey, I'm wanting to do work. I need you to get behind this. It's going to cost us some money or some time or some sacrifice. I want to do work to help myself heal. But I'm not going to do just free work or duct tape it. I've got to go all in. It can look like you saying, hey, okay, here's what I am feeling. Here's my frustration. Here's my needs. Here's my wants. And seeing how the unfaithful embraces that, because there is a point where you quit being vulnerable. And anybody in your situation would when you keep getting met with a heart of self-righteousness, bitterness, anger, resentment, and shutting you down. So how do we move from victimhood to vulnerability? A few things. Number one, there's just no other way to say it. Do your work. I don't mean you read a little book. I don't mean you looked at a couple memes. Oh, you had one therapy session a month ago. Guys, sorry, means nothing. Get serious. Go all in like a good poker hand. Go all in. Number 2, practice self-examination time and time and time again. Ruthless self-examination. Ruthlessly say, where am I? What am I doing? How serious am I? What am I spending my time on? Where is my day going? Where is my night going? Is it TV shows? Is it Netflix? Is it trying to obliterate the present by just occupying ourselves? Or is it trying to cultivate a heart of understanding, a heart of being present, a heart of processing our pain? Next, stop being a lone ranger. I've said it time and time. I don't like groups. Oh, you know what? So what? Your partner doesn't like being betrayed. I'm sorry. Get serious. Have a heart of an archaeologist that starts to sift through the remains of your past and go, okay, how did I get here? Why am I here? How can I make sure this never happens again? Or how can I take this awful situation and use it as a vehicle to find out why I am the way I am or why I do the things I do? I can tell you, I have seen so much healing, so much breakthrough, so much more peace mentally and emotionally, even spiritually and psychologically in my life as I have moved from victimhood to vulnerability. It's got to be safety. It has to be with safe people. But I promise you, this tool is a life-changing tool for your marriage, for your own recovery work. I wish you nothing but courage today to start to move, even if it's inches at a time, to move away from victimhood and embrace vulnerability. You can do this. If I can do it, you can do it.